troubles were over after all the death and destruction, but something worse is coming, Feda.
I feel it too.
Search the castle. If there are more rogue knights, I want them in chains.
We routed them from the library, but I'll make sure nothing was damaged or stolen.
I'm glad to see you again, friend. I just wish your arrival didn't coincide with another crisis. A contingent of knights from the Society of the Steadfast entered the castle. Not in and of itself a concern, we are allies after all. But we weren't informed of a visit. When one of my knights saw them go into the library, she went to investigate. She discovered them ransacking the library. They attacked her, but she was able to fend them off and summon help. My knights routed the villains, but we're unsure if anything was stolen, or if there are more of them hiding elsewhere in the castle. The Ascendant Order? The rogue knights that gave you trouble back on High Isle. What would they be seeking in my castle? Then those imposters must have been looking for the Druid King's crown. Come, we need to check the library at once. And later I want to hear more about your accusations concerning Lord Bacaro. I assumed it would be safe enough locked in a case in the library until I could make other arrangements. We had no reason to believe the relics were in danger. Besides, I only returned to the castle a moment before you arrived. At the docks preparing to receive Lord Bacaro's ship and the relief supplies he promised. It never arrived. I suppose that was all part of the ruse based on what you just told me. Now, let's go make sure the crown is still safely locked away. The library is this way. Damn their eyes, they ransacked the place. Let's see if the case is
late,
still
fool.
here.
The crown belongs to the Ascendant Order now.
No, the case is empty. But how do they know to search the library, let alone behind the shelves? They stole the crown right out of my own castle. How is this possible? You said Lord Bacaro is behind this. I think you better tell me what you know. If you go back far enough, most Bretons have a druid hiding somewhere in their bloodline, but so many records have been lost. How could he be certain? Regardless, why the ruse with the peace talks and the Ascendant Order? So Bacaro was behind it all. The attempts on the lives of the Alliance leaders, the death of the Archdruids, of Raval and my father. Wait, Druid Laurel! The staff, Laurel and Free, are in danger! Orlaith may have believed in a new age, but Bacaro is leading us toward the Green Scourge. King Cassarain's prophecy of the return of the Druid King. It predicts two possibilities. Either an era of peace and harmony, or a time of nature run amok. Go to Glimmertarn and make sure Laurel and the staff are safe. I'll gather what knights I can spare. See if Captain Siravain is willing to aid us once more. I have a feeling we'll need all the help we can get to stop Bacaro and his Ascendant Order. Siravain is a mercenary, but she and her Gilded Blade proved themselves trustworthy against the Dread Sails and the Fire Song. Since then, we've been paying her to help with the relief efforts. We needed every ship we could hire. I won't know until I ask. And if she refuses, you'll still have House Mornard at your side in the battle to come. Now hurry, my friend. Go make sure the staff and Druid Laurel are safe.
Druidkin! Oh, thank Ifray you're here. Something terrible has happened. This way! Rotten damnation! Lord Bacaro, he betrayed us! Lord Bacaro and a contingent of steadfast knights arrived with their usual crates of supplies. He took me aside, warned me that the Ascendant Order was after the Druid King's regalia. He wanted to make sure the staff was still safe. Blight it all. But I did just what you'd expect. He's our ally. Or I thought he was. I showed him that the staff was safe, and he grabbed it. Ordered his knights to hold us back. He has all 3 of the regalia, friend. All 3. We tried to resist, but we were no match for his knights. Then Bacaro displayed the regalia, proclaimed himself the Druid King, and commanded Free to follow him. And they did. That's when Lady Arabelle arrived. Wait, Stefan, is he all right? As soon as I explained what happened, Lady Arabelle and her companions went after Bacaro. I told them we saw him leading Free toward Ifre's path. I stayed behind to tend to the wounded. But this smacks of the Green Scourge. I'll go with you. It's from the dream of Kasserine, the prophecy of the Druid King. One choice, one will, one binding word, shall bless or scourge all lands. Since those lines were carved into the Telling Stone, they've become the basis for our 2 possible futures. The blessing of the Green Reward, or the curse of the Green Scourge. One ushers in an age of harmony with nature. The other predicts a world under siege by an angry and vengeful wilderness. 2 possibilities. One Druid King. The Druids have argued about that for generations. From what you found at Ivyheim, it's clear Kasserine believed the reward would come when the Circles reunited and selected a new king, while a usurper would summon the Scourge. A tyrant like Bacaro. How should I know how that blighter thinks? Lady Arabelle told me that he's the Ascendant Lord, which now makes sense. As soon as he revealed his treachery, his knights threw off their cloaks and revealed themselves to be the Ascendant Order. I'm not sure. Other than Orlaith, no one else has ever attempted to claim the title. At least not to my knowledge. Is it enough to just possess the regalia? Is that why he needs Free? To legitimize his claim? I'm not sure. Still, this is bad. In every way. Everything I know tells me the Druid King can command nature. Wield it like a tool or a weapon. If the title is taken by force, the prophecy tells us it begins an age of destruction. The Green Scourge.
We lost Bacaro in Ifre's path. Lady Arabelle is still out there.
Thank you, Nairon. The Druidkin and I will take it from here. This is the trail they took into Ifre's path.
Claw! Oh, thank the moons! The others followed Lord Bacaro. Go and help them. Lady Arabelle is very brave. Barely recovered from nearly dying, and already chasing villains into a desolate and scary valley. Hurry, Five Claw. You must go help her. Zaji decided to wait out here for you, Five Claw. Yes, Zaji waited to direct you. It is easy to get lost in such places, yes? Lady Arabelle followed the Ascendant Lord. Should Zaji call him that now? Oh, thank you, Five Claw. Zaji will go back to the Druid village and wait for you there. Look for Casca. She is a great tracker. If she hasn't found Bacaro yet, she will shortly.
They went this way. Look, that's the giant
Good
cat
to
that
smell
accompanied
you,
Lady
Five
Arabelle.
Claw. Rivanna thinks Bacaro came here for a purpose. He's not far ahead. Rivanna told me to wait here. She wanted to make sure that Druid Laurel or whoever came after us knew where to go. She doesn't know what the Ascendant Lord is up to exactly, but she's sure he came to this place for a reason. They headed west and followed Bakaro into Ifre's path. Bakaro left some knights behind to slow us down, but I took care of them. Did you happen to see Zaji on your way here? Now that you're here, I'll head back too. I could be more helpful at the Druid village than in a cramped cavern. You might not believe this, but sometimes my size can be a hindrance. Just make sure to bite Bakaro a few times for me.
The ruins on the western wall of the hollow. That's got to be where everyone headed. There's a druid ahead.
Over here, my friend. Lady Arabelle followed them through that door. Lady Arabelle said you'd find us. Told me to wait here and point the way. She followed Bakaro, the Ascendant Lord, through that door over there. Go help her. I'm still not sure she's fully recovered from the effects of the poison. Just speculation, really. Ifre's path is a sacred place, and such locations contain power if you know how to draw upon it. Bakaro is going to need all the power he can get if he wants to press his claim as the Druid King. The Stonelore Circle, at least, will never accept his claim. Not unless forced to. Not to mention the Three Alliances. Bakaro is going to need more than the regalia and his small army of knights to accomplish his ultimate goal. To rule all of Tamriel. She's definitely on the mend, but she should be resting. Running after the so-called Ascendant Lord can be hazardous to her condition in a number of ways. Go after her, my friend. Keep her safe and deal with Bakaro before things get worse.
All these plants were recently torn away. This door must have been hidden for ages. That's Lady Arabelle. What's she doing?
Careful, dear, and watch where you step. Now don't be alarmed, dear, but I happen to have stepped where I shouldn't have. I suppose I owe Druid Ravana an apology. The lingering effects of the poison do seem to have made me somewhat discombobulated. A pressure plate, I think. Some sort of trap put here who knows when, and by who knows who. That can wait, though. I followed Lord Bakaro in here. He met with a group of druids. Fire Song, I think. He promised them vengeance against the Stone Lord. The Nature Spirit? Yes, they were here. I couldn't quite tell if they were a prisoner or not. Bakaro did say he needed them to talk to Ifre's path, whatever that means. You need to go after them, my dear. Oh, I agree. But that's not going to be done quickly. And as long as I remain in place, we are all perfectly safe. You go on ahead. Druid Laurel can stay here and help me disarm this insidious contraption.
Don't move, Lady Arabelle. Let me see what I can do.
Not a muscle, dear lady. Go, my friend. Find Bakaro and free.
Someone approaching. Don't let them reach the ritual site. Ascending. Fire Song ally.
Dad, do not do this.
Obey your king, Sower. The spirit here will awaken and do my bidding. The prophecy demands it. Don't you see? I will bring peace to Tamriel. We shall start by punishing the Stone Law. Servants of Ifray, come forth! Obey your king. Destroy the Stone Law Circle and their allies. King begins here. Kill your intruders.
Interesting. An old druidic summoning chamber. I want to examine these carvings.
Damn my clumsiness. If not for the fact that we were delayed by that trap, we could have been here to help you with that creature. Then maybe Lord Bacaro wouldn't have been able to slip away. I assume this was at least in part a test of sorts, to see if he could actually call forth the spirit and command it. Plus, he wanted to prove to his followers that he is worthy of the Druid King's regalia. Somewhere he can further strengthen and consolidate his power, especially since he knows we're onto him. Druid Laurel is examining the stone carvings. Perhaps they can tell us something. Take a look and talk to her, dear.
These carvings tell an interesting story. Take a look, my friend. Examine the carvings, and I'll tell you what I think they mean. This carving shows the Druid King binding a spirit into Mount Firesong. This carving depicts the spirit slumbering within the volcano. See the Druid King's regalia? This carving indicates a possible future. See how the spirit awakens and the volcano erupts? It's a warning.
I always say, when someone gives you a warning, it's best to take heed.
Ancient druids called upon the spirits of the green at their own peril. Only the Druid King was ever able to do so safely. It's why we abandoned the practice long ago. This is where they did it. At least where some of them did it. Like so much of the ancient knowledge that remains, these carvings are open to interpretation. Obviously, we can see the spirits of the green, forces of nature in the bosom of Ifray. Then we see a spirit slumbering beneath Mount Firesong. Very much so. And the spirit must be extremely powerful due to how sacred Mount Firesong is. I think that's what the final carving tells us. Let the sleeping spirit lie. For generations, that's been one of the Firesong's primary purposes. I think Bacaro plans to call forth the spirit of Mount Firesong with the Druid King's regalia. With a spirit of that magnitude, the armies of Tamriel won't stand a chance. Go to Vastir, and tell Stefan to prepare his ships. We must go to Ephilogue.
If we're going to stop Bacaro, we're going to need help. Go to Castle Mornard and rally Count Stefan's knights. I'll make sure the rest of us are ready.
our troubles were over after all the death and destruction, but something worse is coming, Feda.
I feel it too. Like a dark storm on the horizon.
I hope you'll reconsider. This threat endangers us all.
The Gilded Blades aren't mercenaries to call on to clean up your mess, Count Stefan.
My knights are ready, but Captain Siravane isn't convinced she wants to join us in this particular fight. But never mind that. Is Druid Laurel all right? Is the Sacred Staff safe? Damn it all to oblivion! At least Laurel is all right. I've assembled what knights I can spare, but we could really use Siravane and the Gilded Blades. Maybe you can convince her to help. I'd appreciate it. I've been banging my head against that particular wall for hours now. Remind her that if Lord Bacaro takes control of the archipelago, any safe ports she has on Galen will evaporate like a drop of water in a hot skillet.
I can never get enough of the food you landbound eat. It's so delicious. The Lordling sent you over to convince me to help, didn't he? My answer is the same. Why should I care about your political drama? And that concerns me how, exactly? If druids want a king or not, that's their business, not mine. Sea Lord Nalos was my problem, and I took care of it. What happens on Galen next doesn't matter to me. Just because our purposes aligned once doesn't mean we'll sail side by side forever, mercenary. We both wanted Nalos dead, and now he is. That was a win for both of us. I'd need a more compelling reason to risk my crew again. That is certainly something I hadn't considered. I do like the safe haven that the Lordling has provided us with. And what was that about allies? Bacaro is working with the Fire Song? All right, you convinced me. My ship is yours, for now.
I knew you'd come around, Siravane. Let's meet at the Vastir docks.
Did you hear? I knew it. This was all the fault of those damn druids. Well, some druids. But Count Stefan and that hero from the mainland saved us.
Hear ye, card sharps and collectors. Test your wits and courage in a brand new card game.
It's good to see you, dear. And is that Count Stefan? Glad House Mornard could join us, Your Excellency. Captain Zaji's ship is ready to sail. Next stop, Epilogue. Come, dear. Laurel, Ravana, and I talked during the voyage. If Lord Bacaro truly means to awaken the spirit of the volcano, he's going to need to do it from inside Mount Firesong. And since he knows we're coming, he'll throw everything he has in our way. Sleight of hand, my dear. Count Stefan and Captain Siravane landed farther up the beach. While our allies draw attention at the main entrance, you and I will follow in their wake and find another way into the mountain. Laurel wasn't sure, but she thinks she remembers a cave to the right of the main entrance. Let's search around. If nothing else presents itself, we'll see where that cave leads.
The Ascendant Order's forces pulled back to the main entrance into the mountain. Siravane and her pirates went after them.
The spot Laurel mentioned should be the cave Laurel suggested. It must be behind those vines. This tunnel cuts deep into the mountain. Hopefully it will lead us to Lord Bacaro. Firesong Druids, proceed with caution, dear.
The Druid King calls forth the spirit of the volcano. Soon, our enemies will perish in lava and flame.
Bacaro has stopped it. We have to hurry.